You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen, but do you recall?
What's up, guys? This is your friendly neighborhood extreme Spidey guy here, and welcome back to Holiday Month. And today, I'm going to be doing a movie review on Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, which is, once again, directed by Chris Columbus and produced by John and written by John Hughes. So, how is this movie made? Well, he is finishing writing the film by February 1991 after signing a six-picture deal with 20th Century Fox. Culkin's return was confirmed in May, and the rest of the cast was finalized soon after. Principal photography took place between December 1991 and May 1992, and was done on location of Illinois and New York, including the Rockefeller Trade Center and the original World Trade Center. Home Alone 2 Lost in New York was theatrically released in the US by 20th Century Fox on November 20th, 1992. It received mixed reviews from critics who praised the performances while criticizing its darker tone and violence, as well as its similarities to the first film. The film grossed $359 million worldwide, became the third highest grossing film in 1992. A standalone sequel with a new cast, Home Alone 3, was released in 1997. Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is the second and final Home Alone movie to feature the majority of the cast of the first film. And it should have been, because this is the real finale to Home Alone, in my opinion. Devin Rattray reprised his role as Buzz McAllister in the sixth in the film franchise Home Sweet Home Alone. But anyways, now for the story. After a snarky youth, Kevin McAllister, once again played by Macaulay Culkin, loses track of his father at the airport. He mistakenly gets on a plane headed for New York City, while the rest of the McAllisters fly to Florida. Now alone in the Big Apple, Kevin cons his way into a room at the Plaza Hotel and begins his usual antics. But when Kevin discovers that the Sticky Bandits, once again played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, are on the loose, he struggles to stop them from robbing an elderly man's toy store just before Christmas. So, what are my thoughts on this movie? This movie would have to be my favorite Christmas movie sequel of all time, and probably one of the most underrated sequels I have ever seen in my life. Macaulay Culkin is still awesome as always as Kevin McAllister. Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are still funny as always as Harry and Marv. And there's also some other great performances as well from like John Hurt as always, Tim Curry, Brenda Frickler, and Catherine O'Hara. And I also loved Rob Schneider in the movie as Cedric, and he would have to be the best performance from Rob Schneider, in my opinion. The direction by Chris Columbus is still phenomenal as always. The music by John Williams is phenomenal as always. And Devin Rattray is still phenomenal as always as Buzz, along with and um and I know there's like a cameo from like Donald Trump, but he's honestly the worst president ever, in my opinion. The traps are definitely phenomenal as well, and the ending scene is definitely phenomenal. And there's a lot of heartwarming moments in this film, and you can also see some Easter eggs, such as like the Grinch as well. So the film starts off when the McAllister family is busy packing up and planning to spend Christmas in Miami. And the evening before the departure, they all gather at Kate and Peter's home in Waukenta, Illinois. Their youngest son, Kevin, views Florida as a condictionary to Christmas due to its tropical climate and lack of Christmas trees. At school, at a school Christmas pageant during Kevin's solo, his older brother Buzz embarrasses him. Kevin retaliates by pushing him, which causes the entire chore to fall, running at the pageant. At home, Buzz makes a false apology to Kevin, which the family accepts, but Kevin refuses to apologize his retaliatory stunt and berates his family for believing Buzz's lies and wanting to spend Christmas in Florida. He storms off to the attic, wishing to have his own vacation alone. The next morning, the family oversleeps and rushes to the airport as they did the previous year. Is with them, but he becomes separated from them while carrying Peter's bag and accidentally boards a flight to New York City. Upon arrival, he decides to tour the city and encounters a homeless woman tending to pigeons in Central Park who scares him. He uses Peter's credit card to check in at the Plaza Hotel, not knowing that the wet bandits have also reached the city after escaping from prison. On Christmas Eve, Kevin visits a toy store whose owner, Mr. Duncan, plans to donate the day's sale and proceeds to a children's hospital. After Kevin makes a donation, Mr. Duncan gives him a pair of ceramatic turtle doves in thanks, introducing him to give one of the other person a gesture of eternal friendship. Excuse me. After encountering the wet bandits, outside the toy store, Kevin eludes them and concretes at the plaza confronts Kevin about his use of Peter's credit card, now reported as stolen. Kevin flees the hotel but is caught by Harry and Marv. Marv mentions his and Harry's plan to rob the toy store before Kevin escapes by tricking a female passerby into punching the men. Earlier, upon landing in Miami, the McAllister family discover that Kevin is missing and a file report with the Miami police. After the police trace Peter's credit card, the family flees immediately to New York. Meanwhile, Kevin goes to his uncle's townhouse only to find it vacant and undergoing renovations. In Central Park, Kevin again encounters and eventually befriends the pigeon lady, who takes him to Carrageen Hall. She explains how her life collapsed when her lover left her. Kevin encourages her to trust people again. After considering her advice that he performed a good deed to make up for his misdeeds and recalling Mr. Duncan's intent to donate to the hospital, he also remembers Harry and Marv's plan to steal all the cash and decides to prevent the toy store robbery. After rigging the townhouse with booby traps, Kevin catches Harry and Marv in the process of robbing the toy store, taking their picture and breaking the front of the window to set off the burglar alarm. Then he lures them to the townhouse where they repeatedly injure themselves in the traps. Kevin calls the police from a payphone to alert them to the pair's presence and flees toward Central Park. Harry and Marv catch him after he slips on ice and prepares to shoot him, but the pigeon lady shows up and throws a bucket of bird seeds onto them, attracting a massive flock of pigeons, impassionating the pair until the police arrive to arrest them. Kevin slips away, leaving photographic and tape recording evidence against Harry and Marv, and Mr. Duncan recovers all the donation money and finds a note from Kevin explaining why he broke out of the window. The family arrives in New York, and Kate, remembering Kevin's fondness for Christmas trees, and finds them making a wish at the Rockfester Center Christmas tree. On Christmas morning, a truckload of free gifts arrives at the McAllisters' hotel room, sent from a grateful Mr. Duncan for foiling the robbery. Kevin reconciles with his family and gives one of his turtle doves to the pigeon lady, cementing their friendship before Peter yells at him from the hotel room for amassing a $96 room service bill. And that's really a happy ending right there. And that does not even set up any sequels. But we need to make more Home Alone sequels. But anyways, are there any bad qualities I have with this movie? Absolutely not. And this would have to be even better than the first Home Alone. And here's how I'm gonna rate it. I am going to give Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, a full, solid 10 out of 10. So tell me your thoughts on Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's okay? Do you think it's overrated? Just let me know in the comments below. And just forget about the Home Alone movies after Home Alone 2. I'm not gonna rewatch those anytime soon and rant on them ever again. But until next time, I'll see you all later.